You're off punishment.
So let me get this straight, Governor Mitchell.
She's sleeping with my dad. I know, I heard him.
He did not kick me out, okay? I left.
Right.
Has a TV show ever left you hanging? Well, if you're a Moesha fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We were left with the ultimate cliffhanger. Does Moesha really move in with Hakeem? What on earth happened to Miles? And seriously, which character was pregnant? So many questions. Today we're diving headfirst into the saddest episodes of Moesha ever. We're not just revisiting the drama, we're also uncovering some juicy tidbits about one of our favorite TV shows from back in the day. Moesha debuted with a bang, shaking up the way black sitcoms are viewed. After being picked up by UPN, it quickly became one of the network's biggest hits. It showcased the everyday life of an average middle-class black family, and it was pure drama gold.
Let me take care of these letters for you, Chickadee and Chickadum.
Running from January 1996 to May 2001, the show had us hooked every step of the way. When Moesha premiered, shows centered around black teens weren't exactly flooding our screens. Sure, there was Sister, Sister, and the likes.
Dad? Mom? That girl has my face!
But Moesha carved out its own unique space. It boldly focused on black culture in a way that its predecessors didn't. While other shows were incredible and offered much-needed representation, they often aimed to appeal to a broader audience. But Moesha, it brought something fresh to the table, blending relatable teenage issues with a deep dive into black family life and culture, making it a standout in the 90s TV landscape.
No, I didn't. I asked you for sweatshirt. Sweatshirt.
The show gave us a heroine who rocked braids, represented the vibrant black neighborhood of Leimert Park, and stayed true to her roots by attending Crenshaw High instead of some fancy private school. These might seem like small details, but they were monumental for viewers who finally saw themselves represented on screen in a real and relatable way. Even if the show wasn't as big as The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it still rocked our screens. The cast was fire, especially with Brandy leading it. Brandy, already a star at the time, was the perfect choice to play Moesha. Her star power was undeniable and helped Moesha become a massive hit, boosting UPN's profile and paving the way for a wave of other iconic sitcoms. She proved that young black women could lead a show, setting the stage for future stars. Brandy was the ultimate it girl of the era, and her success on and off screen was truly inspiring. Let's not forget the incredible cast of Moesha.
Miles is in a trunk on the 405.
Cheryl Lee Ralph, Countess Vaughn, William Allen Young, Shar Jackson, and Brandy's brother, Ray J. They made this show a must-watch. Tragically, some beloved cast members faced untimely deaths in the early 2000s. Merlin Santana, Ohaji, was shot in 2002. Lamont Bentley, Hakeem, died in a car accident in 2005, and Yvette Wilson and Dale Wilkerson passed away from cancer in 2012. Rest in peace to these talented souls. The remaining cast members have kept busy. Cheryl Lee Ralph, who played Dee Mitchell, stars in Abbott Elementary.
Pimple-faced kid, fresh from the smart bar.
Genius bar.
Telling me how to teach.
Marcus T. Paul, who played Miles, now runs a modeling agency.
I started a modeling company, book work for models. I'm into music. Music was my first love, so people forget that, so I do music as well.
Fredro Starr balances acting and rapping.
Calling my phone, you know they paying the fee. Big rollers on me.
And Countess Vaughn is making a waves in reality TV.
My favorite moment with my kids, I would say, it happened recently. I was really wanting to plan something, an outing, and they basically let me know that, they didn't want to hang out or go anywhere and be in the public eye. They just wanted to be with me and be up under me. And that was just such a special moment because, it was just basically telling me it's not about the money. It's not about what I do. It's about me.
Now, on to the good stuff, the laughs. Remember that epic episode where Moesha's friends decided to throw her a birthday bash with all her exes invited? Each ex tried to outdo the other to win Moesha's heart. Jeremy belting out happy birthday.
Moesha, it's your birthday.
And Ohaji recycling the same old poem. It was comedy gold mixed with a whole lot of cringe.
Your eyes closed, your lips next to mine. Your love is all.
What about when Moesha thought her butt was too big because of a list going around school? Well, if you did know, back in the 90s, big butts weren't as glamorized as they are now. So when Moesha got voted biggest butt by her male peers, she went to great lengths to minimize it as much as possible.
When are we gonna walk proudly with our heads up high and strapped like some women? You know what I'm saying?
It didn't last long, though, as Mo, Niecy, and Kim decided to make their own list. And for once, it was nice to see the tables turn. Now, for the not-so-good moments in Moesha history, the shocking discovery that Miles was puffing on the devil's lettuce.
Miles, son, we all care. Miles.
On one hand, we got Miles, the usual carefree little brother, facing some real struggles with peer pressure. Then there's Moesha, feeling guilty for not being there enough for him, which adds another layer of emotion. The heated arguments between Miles, his parents, and Moesha ramp up the tension, showing just how tough it can be for families when stuff like this happens. Overall, it's a sad episode because it's all about the pain and worry when someone you care about gets mixed up in something bad.
It's always about you, like you really care.
The whys and the what-ifs took over that night, as I wondered how I ever let Miles get that far below my radar.
Another really sad moment was when Frank lost it over Mo's tattoo.
Girl, did you leave your mind where you left the rest of your clothes?
Why you tripping now?
Because now you look like a tramp.
Need I say more? Mo strutted her stuff with her brand new ink, feeling like a rock star. But when Frank caught sight of it, his reaction was priceless. Part shock, part disbelief, and maybe a dash of old school dad vibes. Okay, maybe a whole lot more than a dash. Needless to say, their relationship only went downhill from here. And shortly after...
And where are you going?
Going upstairs to get some clothes. I'll be back for the rest of my things later.
She decided to leave home for the first time. But we can all admit that the saddest episode was the one where Frank and Dorian took the drama to a whole new level. The Mitchell family was the epitome of Black family excellence on primetime TV. They were our go-to for positive representation. But in season 5, all bets were off. Frank dropped the bombshell that Dorian wasn't just his nephew.
Well, good for you, Frank. You finally brought your son home. I knew you'd do the right, son.
He was his son. Gas! Dorian, the troubled teen we all hoped would find redemption under the Mitchell roof, turned out to be Frank's own flesh and blood. What a plot twist! Suddenly, Frank went from being the cool, holier-than-thou dad to the center of a family scandal. You can practically feel the betrayal and shock radiating through the screen.
I mean, how much longer are you going to keep it a secret, Frank? Huh? You brought the boy into our home.
Oh, you're right, baby. I
Even Cheryl Lee Ralph, our beloved Moesha's stepmom, wasn't thrilled about this sudden turn of events in real life. The show went from comedy to drama in the blink of an eye, and Ralph was not having it. She felt like the show was putting Black families in a bad light, and she even reduced her screen time on the show. As the seasons rolled on, tension between Ralph and Brandy also started bubbling in real life too. In a revealing excerpt from her book, Ralph spilled the tea about being pressured to ditch her braids for a custom wig because Brandy wasn't happy with another star on set rocking a similar look. Wait, what? Now, let's dish about some spicy behind-the-scenes drama. Rumor has it that the cozy family-like vibes we saw on screen might not have been all sunshine and roses behind the scenes. In a jaw-dropping interview, Fredro Starr finally talked about feud with Countess Vaughn.
Where they had an argument once or twice, and they got over it. You know what I'm saying? People argue. It's part of, but I'm going to keep it real. Countess Vaughn was funny. She was hilarious, and they needed her on the show.
The tension between these two leading ladies was hotter than a summer heat wave.
It only takes certain things to make people snap off on each other. It wasn't something that was often, but it did happen. I think the ladies being young were a big reason that it happened, if they were as mature as they are now.
In 1998, just before Vaughn bid farewell to the show, Brandy spilled the beans to Vibe magazine, saying, "I think she's very funny, very talented. I just feel like she wants to be in the position I'm in. People tell her, you're the reason the show's successful. And she's told me before, and she's called me a to my face. She said, I'm the reason why the show is successful in front of a whole lot of people. But hey, all's well that ends well, right? Despite their rocky past, these two leading ladies have buried the hatchet and are now singing each other's praises.
I think the ladies being young were a big reason that it happened. If they were as mature as they are now, and they've gotten past it, I think now everybody's cool. We did our reunion. I'm living. When I'm doing Moesha, we having a ball.
Moesha's final episode left us hanging with a positive pregnancy test found in Moesha's dorm room. But whose bun is in the oven? That's the million-dollar question. By the time season 6 wraps up, Moesha and Hakeem are back on track. Niecy is cozying up to Hakeem's roommate, Jerome. And even Moesha's roommate, Alice, has found romance. So who's the mommy to be? Your guess is as good as mine. But alas, since there's no season 7, we're left in the dark.
Yes. Ended like on a cliff.
Yes.
Exactly.
We need to do a movie.
Miles was kidnapped. Poor Miles. We don't know who was pregnant.
Miles is in a trunk on the 405.
According to Entertainment Weekly, UPN pulled the plug on Moesha due to sinking ratings. However, they had big plans to tie up the pregnancy cliffhanger in the spin-off series, The Parkers, which debuted in 1999. The Parkers followed Moesha's best friend, Kim Parker, on her adventures with her hilarious mom in tow. Sadly, over its 5-season run, the Parkers never quite tied up those loose ends. In a 2014 interview with Keke Palmer on her BET show Just Keke, Brandy even apologized to fans for leaving them hanging.
I don't know what happened, and I feel so bad because, so many of the fans, they're mad about that. And that's not the way you end a show that's been on for 6 years.
And guess what? She's just as in the dark as the rest of us when it comes to the show's ending.
No, it's someone we don't know.
You didn't know
the
either?
cast members didn't know neither.
That's too much.
Yeah.
But then you came out with Full Moon and we was cool again.
For years, fans have been eagerly awaiting news of a reboot. But alas, nothing concrete has materialized. However, there's still hope, as cast members have expressed their openness to participate in a reboot if the stars align just right. Let's keep our fingers crossed for a happy ending.